not even be able to provide the emotional connection that the woman seeks. And yet the woman continues to pour her energy into the relationship. The illusion of transformation, of breaking down emotional barriers, becomes so powerful that it often blinds her to the reality that the person she desires may never be able to give her the love and commitment she truly deserves. In some cases, this drive stems from a place of deep empathy and a desire to heal or support the person they love, even at the expense of their own emotional needs. This drive can also be traced to a deeper, more intrinsic need for connection. Human beings are wired for connection. It is one of our most fundamental needs, but when a woman encounters someone who is emotionally unavailable, the instinctual desire for emotional connection can become even more intense. The very nature of the emotional distance can fuel a sense of yearning, making the connection seem all the more significant. The challenge of bridging that gap can feel incredibly powerful, almost like an emotional high. The more unavailable partner, the stronger the pull becomes. It's an emotional paradox, a desire for closeness that simultaneously exists alongside the experience of distance. For some women, this dynamic is not about trying to win someone over. It's about a deep emotional need to feel seen, validated, and desired. When the unavailable partner withholds affection or emotional connection, it often activates a deeper part of the woman's psyche. The lack of attention becomes a kind of emotional signal. She becomes determined to prove her worth, to show that she can be the one to break through. This desire to prove oneself, while initially empowering, can also be deeply problematic. It leads to a situation where love becomes a battle, an endless cycle of proving and striving, with little regard for the emotional toll it takes. The complexity of this dynamic becomes even more evident when considering the emotional distance itself. The emotionally unavailable partner may not even realize the effect their behavior has on the woman pursuing them. They may have their own reasons for being distant, whether due to past emotional trauma, fear of intimacy, or simply a lack of interest. For the woman on the other side, these reasons may seem like barriers that can be overcome, challenges that can be met. But when these barriers remain unaddressed, they only deepen the emotional divide. In many cases, the unavailable partner remains unaware of the emotional cost the woman is paying to remain invested in the relationship. There is also a unique emotional attachment that forms around the unavailable partner. The distance they maintain, the emotional unavailability, can almost feel like a puzzle to be solved. The more distant the person becomes, the more it feeds the desire to be the one who figures them out. The game becomes about proving one's emotional intelligence, persistence, and capacity for love. It's a subtle form of emotional validation, but one that is often rooted in the subconscious need to prove to oneself that love can be won. The allure of the emotionally unavailable partner often grows stronger with each moment of distance. The distance itself becomes a defining feature of the relationship, a magnetic force that draws the woman in, compelling her to invest even more emotionally. It creates an intense emotional experience, one that may feel familiar and strangely comforting. The highs and lows of desiring someone who is out of reach can create a whirlwind of emotions, from excitement and hope to frustration and heartbreak. But through it all, there remains an underlying desire to close the gap, to break through the emotional barriers that keep the partner distant. For some women, this dynamic may stem from the perception that they must earn love. This belief may be tied to their early experiences with relationships, whether in their family, friendships, or previous romantic encounter. In some cases, a woman may have grown up in an environment where love was conditional or withheld, making the pursuit of affection feel like something to be earned through effort and sacrifice. As a result, the emotionally unavailable partner may feel like a mirror of the patterns she has known throughout her life. The desire to fix or win over the emotionally distant partner may be an unconscious attempt to heal these old wounds, to prove to herself that she is worthy of love and affection. This drive to earn love is often reinforced by societal messages about relationships. In many cultures, women are taught that true love is something that requires effort, commitment, and sometimes struggle. This narrative often glorifies the idea of working for love, whether it's through sacrifices, overcoming obstacles, or breaking down emotional walls. The emotionally unavailable partner becomes the ultimate challenge, a test of a woman's devotion, perseverance, and emotional strength. But when love is framed in this way, it can become a never-ending pursuit, one that leaves the woman emotionally drained and unfulfilled. Yet, there is another side to this dynamic. Some women are drawn to the unavailable partner because they believe that love should be a transformative experience. They believe that by loving someone who is emotionally distant, they can inspire change, bring healing, and help that person open. There's an inherent hope that their love can be the key to unlocking the unavailable partner's heart. This belief often comes from a deep desire to nurture, to care for someone who may have emotional wounds or past trauma. The idea that love can heal becomes both a source of hope and a source of emotional investment. But while love can indeed heal, it can only do so when both partners are willing to be vulnerable, open, and emotionally available. When one person is emotionally distant, no amount of love or care can bridge that gap if the other person is not ready or willing to meet them halfway. The problem with desiring the unavailable is that it often leads to an emotional cycle that can be difficult to break. The woman continues to invest her emotions, her energy, and her love into someone who cannot reciprocate in the way she needs. This creates a sense of imbalance, where one person is giving and the other is receiving without offering the same emotional depth in return. Over time, this imbalance can erode self-esteem and create feelings of inadequacy. The woman may begin to question her own value, wondering why she cannot get the attention or affection she desires from someone who seems so emotionally distant. The self-doubt can become a destructive force, leading to frustration, confusion, and a diminished sense of self-worth. In some cases, the desire for the unavailable partner can become so consuming that it leads to emotional burnout. The constant push and pull of trying to connect with someone who is emotionally unavailable can leave the woman feeling emotionally exhausted, drained, and disconnected from her own needs. She becomes so focused on winning the affection of the unavailable partner that she loses sight of her own emotional health and well-being. This can lead to a pattern of unhealthy relationships, where the woman continually seeks out emotionally distant partners, believing that love is something that must be won or earned. Over time, this pattern can become a cycle of disappointment, as the woman finds herself constantly chasing after something that can never truly satisfy her emotional needs. It's important to recognize that the desire for the unavailable is not always about wanting to change or fix someone. For some women, the attraction to the emotionally distant partner may stem from the thrill of the chase, the excitement of the pursuit, or the challenge of winning someone over. In these cases, the emotional fulfillment comes not from the connection itself but from the journey, from the process of trying to get closer to someone who is emotionally inaccessible. The chase becomes an emotional roller coaster, one that is fueled by the highs and lows of desire and frustration. It's an intense emotional experience that can be both thrilling and draining, and it often leaves the woman with a sense of longing that is never fully satisfied. But even when the chase becomes all-consuming, it's essential to remember that the true nature of love is not about winning someone over or proving one's worth. Love is about mutual respect, emotional availability, and vulnerability. It's about two people coming together with open hearts and minds, willing to give and receive love freely. When one partner remains emotionally unavailable, it creates an imbalance that makes true connection difficult, if not impossible. And while the pursuit of the unavailable may provide temporary excitement or fulfillment, it can never replace the deep, lasting connection that comes from being with someone who is emotionally present and invested. In the end, the desire for the unavailable is a reflection of a deeper emotional need, one that seeks connection, validation, and love. But it's crucial to understand that true love cannot be won through effort alone. It requires both partners to be emotionally open, willing to meet each other halfway. The pursuit of the unavailable may offer temporary excitement, but it ultimately leaves one feeling unfulfilled. The real challenge, then, is not about trying to win someone over, but about learning to recognize and embrace healthy, balanced relationships, where love is freely given and received. For women who find themselves continuously attracted to the unavailable, it's important to reflect on what this pattern is teaching them. Perhaps it's a call to recognize their own worth, to set boundaries, and to seek relationships that offer emotional reciprocity. It's an opportunity to heal old wounds and break free from the belief that love must be earned or that affection is something to be won. Ultimately, the key to breaking free from the desire for the unavailable is to understand that love is not about the chase. It's about the connection, the shared vulnerability, and the willingness to give and receive love freely.